It was a brutal 2025, which carried on into the 2026 offseason. But what are the keys to a turnaround for the Arizona Cardinals in Mike LaFleur's first season? How can they shock the world? Plus, the key contributors that would go along with that. One NFL writer says Walter Nolen's going to be a key cog, and more Cards extension candidates have emerged. We'll tell you just who they are as Clancy from Locked On Cardinals joins me right now on PHNX Cardinals. Fired up live from Studio K. It's PHNX Cardinals. Bo Brack hanging out with you in a reunion of sorts. Yes, bringing in my old friend Alex Clancy from Locked On Cardinals. Make sure you're following along at Clancy's Corner. But of course, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. Drop that like button on just the eve before a little bit of a holiday weekend. We're going to be taking a break Friday. We'll be back Monday with a fresh new lineup of shows. But before then, we got lots to cover. There's been a lot of chatter this offseason about this Cardinals team, but we haven't really given them enough credit in a couple areas, and we have to look at where they could truly shock some people and maybe play above what people expect in 2026 after a 3-win 2025 season. Plus Walter Nolen, big expectations in year two. Plus more extension candidates. We're going to get into it. But first, let me allow my friend Alex Clancy showered for us today. Thanks for doing that, my man.
I did. It's that one lucky day of the month, Bo. You got me. You got me.
And of course, our guy Noah behind the Mac making a sound and look so good. What's up to the chat? Naheem, Desert Vulture, Cam, Utah Cards fans, Kojo Nation. I got Airborne Bill. How about Shaft? We got Over Par, Cardzona, Z-Man, Jacob Tackett, Kojad. So many great people fired up. Don't forget to hit that like. I'm just mining for likes here early on. But Clancy, you know that's what I do. I'm not above that. I'm not above that to grovel for the for the likes. So it's been a minute. I did want to touch on the kind of the headlines from this week. We've covered it at pretty probably past where we should have covered it as far as Seth Walder's take on the Cardinals drafting Jeremiyah Love third overall. He said it was just a step before taking a punter. What was your thoughts on Walder's comments on the worldwide leader?
I mean, when you're looking at the traditional way to build a roster, it's not the right way to do it. You don't draft a running back top 5. Nobody's ever won a Super Bowl drafting a running back top 5. And you want to do the Adrian Peterson thing, he won one playoff game. So they already didn't do that. And I mean, I'm excited for this offense, but when you look at the four-letter network who doesn't pay attention to the Cardinals outside of the draft and, that's it, and contract disputes with Jacoby Brissett, it makes sense. Not getting anything for Kyler Murray, the D, that D grade, it makes sense to me. I'm not offended by it.
I wasn't offended by the grade. I was like fully expecting the letter grade. It's somebody that that brought home a lot of report cards with the same letter grade in many of many of from math to English to Spanish. Like outside of PE, which I was able to avoid that. But I was expecting low grades, but mine was more from the standpoint of the lack of aggressiveness, just the state of the quarterback position, and obviously coming off a 3-win season, it was more of moves that was a sign of roster maintenance instead of trying to turn things over aggressively. And then, but for Walter to call Jeremiyah Love the worst move, I think that's disingenuous to a national audience that doesn't follow the Cardinals closely because then they're just going to, old water cooler standpoint, they're going to say, yeah, Cardinals offseason sucked, and it's because they drafted this all-world running back. It's like, well, what gives there? I know traditionally in modern-day roster building would say you don't want to use an asset like that on a running back. But given the context and the facts and the circumstances surrounding it, I would hope at least you would admit that it looks like a pretty decent move at this point.
So that's the way you brought that home is right. So the way I look at this is it was going to be an incomplete roster no matter what. And they just had to pick which type of incomplete it was going to be. So you bring in an offensive guy. Naturally, it would lend you to think that they draft Jeremiyah Love. They already didn't do anything else. So you have to look at where they are now. And you look at the offense now. He's not drafted to save the offense. He's not drafted to be this, messiah to touch the ball 40 times a game for the offense to tick. He's here to help him elevate. And now when you look at the skill position group, the ESPN ranked them top 10 in skill position players outside of quarterback. Yeah. So the worst part about it is you get Jeremiyah Love. That's not that bad. Yeah, the right tackle's bad. The pass rush is bad, right. But they chose Bo, we've been doing this in this space for 15 years, ballpark. Mm-hmm. Okay. When was the last time the offense was the true strength of this team? True strength, when the defense didn't have to bail them out. Even through the Cliff years, all the JG years, the defense was the anchor. It wasn't great, but it was the trusted side of the ball. We talked about it forever. And now, hopefully, that'll change into the new age version of the NFL. And drafting him, it now looks like a good move.
Yeah, especially setting up your first-year head coach and giving him the pieces and the ingredients for the recipe of, hey, this is our strength. This is our identity. This is how we can, take over games if we wanted to, and how we can create mismatches in the passing game where, they have a plethora of playmakers there, and that will play into some of the current turnaround keys that I brought up. But, I just think that to pinpoint, to highlight Jeremiyah Love as a negative, I take issue with that. I just think, especially when, Walter breaking it down was like, well, they should have either gone, edge rusher, they should have gone tackle, they should have gone wide receiver. So when I think about that, I think about three prospects. The only person that was viewed as an edge post David Bailey was Arvell Reese, who was not an edge in college, who had more off-ball reps than pass rush reps, and he's going to start his career at what position? Off-ball linebacker for the Giants.
Right.
Same thing with Maui Noah, who's like a guy that both you and I were infatuated with for the bulk of the draft process. And where's he going to start for the Giants? Guard. He's going to be at guard. And he had a little bit of a blip as far as a medical, right?
Yeah.
And then to say, hey, you could have traded down. I guess the wide receiver he brought was like, you're going to go Cardinal Tate? You're going to go Jordan Tyson that high? Like, no, because then you're going to be criticized for not taking the best player available and just really trying to fit a square peg in a round hole at a premium position. And then the trade down part of that is just like, you're going to get 60 cents on the dollar in a trade down. Like, there's no value in doing any of those. Why not just go true BPA? They did, and I think it's going to pay off for them in the long run.
Yeah. I mean, the byproduct of them doing things that winning teams don't do that high is you get a generational talent at running back, as you said. And also, this draft, there were so many tweeners at that position. Arvell Reese is a tweener. Sonny Styles is a tweener. David Bailey was already gone. Ruben Bain dropped significantly for, what he had, Tyrannosaurus Rex arms, but but still, if they took him there, the Cardinals would have got a higher grade. I think it's just premium positions. There are 10 positions higher, more premium than running back in the NFL or whatever. Right. So, I mean, what the Cardinals need, they chose their incomplete, and it's to be a high-powered offense. So it could be worse.
Yeah, and that'll kind of transition us into this, where I think that the offense is going to have to play a big role as far as this team turning around in 26 after a catastrophic 3-14 franchise worst record, where this team, they're not favored in any game. Vegas has them as underdogs and significant underdogs through the bulk of their first 10 games. I mean, I think it's like 6 double-digit underdog projections right now that you can bet up on the board at Bet365. It's just like, man, how is this life 4 years into a rebuild, and how is that general manager still the one that's the architect of this team? We'll put that on the back burner as we kind of get into this conversation. We kind of look at this team with a glass half full perspective, and I'm going to get it. Let's get the blackboard out here, Noah, and I'm going to jot down a couple keys to a Cardinals turnaround. And I'm going to start here. It's what we've been talking about. This is beautiful, by the way. Look at this dais. This is fantastic. This is like, what is this, mahogany? It's gorgeous.
It's oak. It's oak.
Oh, it's oak. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Bo's not a big tree guy. Yeah.
Perfect. Not a big tree guy. Look, we're gonna start with the playmaking, and we're gonna need loads of it. Playmaking, Clancy. I'm gonna start there because the one thing we can criticize ESPN and Seth Walder in his latest article last week, they were praising the Cardinals and saying that they had a top 10, sixth overall group of playmakers that Jeremiyah Love enters the equation for.
Yeah. I mean, in this offense, for those that don't understand the gravity of this offense, you'll catch up really quickly because it's like, well, Mike LaFleur with the Jets, it was bad. And, all this stuff. Jacoby Brissett would have been the best quarterback they had in his tenure with the Jets. Okay, the Cardinals have much better skill position players. This offense is going to hum. It's a simple offense with a lot of masquerading, a lot of pre-snap motion, but the outside zone run scheme for Jeremiyah Love and Tyler Algier is going to be the heartbeat, and then you've got position players everywhere. So yes, this offense is going to help everything look a lot easier. Scheming guys open, it's going to be easy for Marv, it's going to be better for Michael Wilson, it's going to be better for Trey McBride. Like, all in all, regardless of who's playing quarterback, this is a massive step up in the play calling direction.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that you can set the tone, as you were mentioning, on the ground, and what could that potentially do for McBride, for Marv, for Michael Wilson, like everybody that's talked for this team and given us some sort of sense of what this offense is and what Mike LaFleur's strength is as a play caller is scheming guys open. What would help that even more so is a stout run game. And I think if you've got the guys who can continue to help you push the ball downfield, like I don't care like who you have throwing you the football, like there should be opportunities of guys running on open grass to reincorporate more consistently, explosives in the passing game and the run game. I just think playmaking department, they're not going to be short on options there, and you got to lean into it. So like that's the simple one. That's the fifth one. Let's go over to number 4, where I think you hit the nail on the head, the play calling. What Michael LaFleur is going to bring to the offense from that standpoint, I think we're going to have a play calling renaissance where last year you had a lot of 12 and 13 personnel, which you're going to have a lot of this year.
Yeah.
But you're going to have a guy that's pressing the buttons that knows what he's doing, that he knows how to utilize that and take advantage of those mismatches when you create them.
Well, the biggest play calling, because you're right, renaissance is a good word. The Arizona Cardinals offense and the pass game and the run game were like 1099 employees that happened to work for the same company. There was no actual cohesion between the two. Say it was Kyler, say it was Drew Petzing. Last year, say it was they didn't have a run game. But this is going to be, people are going to see what it really looks like when a run game bounces off a pass game and vice versa. So it's going to look like you're watching a movie in a different language that you've never heard before. And it should be very, very smooth. It should be very, very cohesive. And also, the play calling renaissance is the yielding of that is everybody's going to eat. Everybody's going to eat. And it's going to be this great thing. So regardless if they win a bunch of games or not this year, I agree with you. You're going to see something that is so much more elevated than what we saw the last 3 years. It's going to smack you in the face almost right away.
Yeah, and that's what we're hoping for. I feel like I'm in a debate. I feel like we're taking the podiums at a debate. I'd love to do that. Go against Clancy. The mudslinging would be epic. And
epic.
Yeah, they definitely have to have the sensors all set up for that one. But that's what we're hoping for. Like with Michael LaFleur, that you're going to see elevated play calling. You're going to see something that resembles a modern day offense. And it's like, sure, like Petzing wanted to incorporate those concepts, but did he really know how to utilize and harness them? I think a lot of people would fight back and say no. And we'll see, what he does in Detroit. But he wasn't able to do it with the Arizona Cardinals. Up next, the kind of big topic of conversation this offseason needs steady quarterback play. And whether it's Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, or Carson Beck, whoever is under center in the shotgun, you're going to need to have somebody that can play this game manager role that's not going to be tasked with going out there and winning a football game outright, but somebody that's just going to be able to play point guard and distribute the football to what we talked about to start, all the playmakers out there.
Yeah. Because, it's funny. We're talking about Jacoby Brissett not being under contract yet and who's it going to be, who's it going to be. It doesn't really matter. Does it matter? Does it matter? I mean, Carson Beck would be, you're not going to start him week 1, but does it? This offense is supposed to lead the charge here. And yeah, steady quarterback play. It's going to be, listen, one of the biggest issues talking about last season was anchored because they had no run game after week 5. Everybody was hurt. So you're not going to be dropping back 60 times a game. You're not going to be throwing the ball with even close to as much volume as Jacoby Brissett was last year. So the quarterback play is going to be easier because the offensive line's not going to have to pass block 50 times a game. They're going to actually have a rush attack with a two-headed monster back there. And then on top of that, you've got a good play caller now with a good offense to where it's all going to look so much easier. I don't know if they're going to win games, but this light bulb hopefully will just flash. And it's oh my God. Last year, what happened last year? I don't even remember because everything looks so much better now.
Right. And that's where I think a lot of the people would kind of push for Beck. If there's not going to be a big difference, why don't you see what you can get from the young guy? I'm not saying week 1, and I'm not saying, hey, this is a guy that you have to, if Jacoby Brissett is able to play that role and they win football games and enough to, if he's playing 500 ball, I think that holds off Beck long enough. But if Beck somehow shows that he can be comparable to the same as Jacoby Brissett, I think a lot of people would rather see the youngster go out there because he's under contract beyond 2026. As it stands right now, Jacoby Brissett is not. Love this from Jalen. Bo looking like a youth pastor about to give a lit sermon. Hello, children. Hello, children. Isn't it dope? I'm about to have you guys have some YOLO here about the Lord. No, I love it. I've got rips in my jeans, and I'm about to have you guys say amen. It's been we've got 3 down. We've got 5 in total, so 2 more to go. What is going to be the biggest keys to a Cardinals turnaround in 2026? We'll get into those next here on PHNX Cardinals. Hit that like button, subscribe to PHNX Sports, and shout out to our friends over at Bet365, the best in the land. And here's what separates Bet365 from the pack, because we know you have so many gambling apps that you have at your disposal. Bet365's early payouts, that's the separator, man. It is unbelievable. I love it betting Major League Baseball and knowing I don't have to rely on those pesky bullpens that can't shut the door. Because if you bet on a Major League Baseball team and they go up by a certain amount of runs, you can get that early payout, those sweet, sweet early payouts from Bet365. Plus, you got the World Cup going on. No better action going than on Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the app and use the code PHNX365 at sign up. Got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 years or older only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only, but Bet365. Make sure you're downloaded. And you also use that code PHNX365. Bet365, where winning is everything. Speaking of winning, when you're doing those home improvement projects, you're a winner when you use the Window Depot. And you're saying, what are you talking about, Bo? It's just a window store, isn't it? Incorrect. Worst misconception out there that the Window Depot is just a window store. It's more than a window store, and they've got now 8 Valley locations that you can go and get your next project started with. How about their one in Surprise? It's got that brand new, fresh smelling store smell to it. And of course, they've always got the biggest inventory, best prices, and they'll beat any competitor's price guaranteed. Make sure you have the most up-to-date windows for the Arizona summers to make sure you're not going to, lose on some energy costs by not having your windows up to snuff. Check out the Window Depot, and they're much more than a window store. Doors, cabinets, countertops, everything you need for your next home improvement project. Visit thewindowdepot.com. Shop online, pick up in store, and stop by one of their 8 Arizona locations. The Window Depot, more than a window store. Back here on PHNX Cardinals with Locked On Cardinals host Alex Clancy. We did this thing for 3 years, 4 years at Locked On? Mike's muted there.
Yeah, I said I wouldn't have let that happen. That was instant karma for me. That's fantastic. Yeah, I think 3 years.
Yeah, we had to mute you as you had an expletive-laden response there. So, yeah, that's how high-tech we are. Yeah, there were times where, what was the check that we received at one point when we started? It was is it $3?
Yeah, my first one ever was 29 cents in 2017. And then, it's gone up since then. But yeah, bro, the grind is real, man. The grind was real.
Oh man, there's some great the good old days, man. It was a blast. We even got a winning season mixed in there in 2021, which was a thrill ride. Let's get back into what could as we look at a turnaround in 2026 from a 14 loss in 2025 season. Playmaking, play calling renaissance, steady quarterback play. What's next? Second on this list, Clancy, I say it's got to be a revamped offensive line. This is a team that its offensive line, it took a major step back after being one of the more consistent units on the team. Actually, I would make the case that they were the most consistent group under Gannon in years 1 and 2, and then in year 3 took a tremendous step back. You could see it in week 1, and you saw some leaky spots in the interior of the offensive line outside of Yelda Froholt, and I thought that they did a good job in addressing those with bringing Simonala and then, of course, Chase Basantis, the investment as a second-round pick to go along with Isaiah Adams, who they're going to battle it out for the right guard spot.
Yeah, I mean, they did something, which is good. I mean, obviously, the Elijah Wilkinson is the sore thumb at right tackle. Who knows? Like, if Chase Basantis can come in, even though he's only played, one game at right tackle or right guard in college, if he can come in, or if Isaiah Adams wasn't bad down the stretch last year. I was not a proponent of him starting to start the year. He was bad to start the year. He got better. But I think the biggest thing on top of adding Isaac Seumalo to left guard, which is going to help Paris Johnson Jr., is this offense is going to be easier for the offensive line to run as well. They're not going to have to drop back 60 times. The run game is going to be prominent. They're just going to have to build those gaps for the outside zone run so Jeremiyah Love can have that one jump and just beat a backer and take it up the seam. Like, this is going to be so much easier for the offensive line in 2026. So much easier. And, you think the Rams just are that good at drafting and finding people off the trash heap who are undrafted? This is an easier offense to run as an offensive lineman as well. So we could see real surprises here this year with the offensive line also. If one thing lines up, everything will line up. And you just hope that it's all and not nothing, because it would be pretty ugly if we don't see any of these things happen. But yeah, The offensive line's bumped up, and, Paris, I don't know if he's going to get 40, but, he deserves the extension. We'll see how he plays this year if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I think he's going to see something that's more, market appropriate. But look, you set your goals high and aim for as high as your earning potential can take you. And, I think it's going to land him $28.5, maybe $30 million. That'd be great for the Cardinals. I mean, regardless, I think both parties are going to land on a number that makes sense for everybody. And it's going to lock in Paris Johnson Jr. for the foreseeable future and continue to be a franchise cornerstone, as well as, Paris, you feel really confident about at left tackle. Seumalo at left guard. Yelda has been so consistent at center. And then whoever wins between Basantis and Adams, who I think, Basantis probably has the edge just because he was drafted on scheme. Yeah. He could. I really believe that once camp opens, he's going to be a high riser. And then if Wilkinson, who graded out well in zone run schemes last year, I think that if he can do that at the very least, that's going to do a lot for when you are forced to drop back in obvious pass situations, and you can have a better performance from a pass pro position than last year. So revamping the offensive line. Did you have something else to say before I get to the number one?
Yeah, just one last thing. Maybe people don't know, and some do, but first of all, Tyler Algier knows Elijah Wilkinson. They played together last year. For those that forgot, Bijan Robinson is really good at football, and he ran a lot to the right, and Elijah Wilkinson did a good job. For those, Jeremiyah Love and Tyler Algier are excellent pass-protecting running backs. They are excellent pass blockers. So you have that on top of it. I know it's not offensive line, but this is an upgrade from what they had last year when they had smaller guys back there, weren't necessarily the best blockers. So Jeremiyah Love loves to pass block, loves to pass protect. Obviously, that's not why he's here, but that'll help if it does get into the second level, if somebody does get past the offensive line.
Great point. Let's get to our last key to the Arizona Cardinals turnaround, and it hasn't been mentioned in any capacity. It's the defense. The defense has to rebound. There's no doubt about it. When you think about the blowouts, you can poke holes in the offense, but what it came down to was the Cardinals' inability to get off the field without surrendering points. and points in bunches. This defense went from giving up just under 24 points per game through the first, 8 weeks to giving up over 35 points per game in the last 9 weeks. It was just a complete shell of itself. The wheels completely fell off and everything unraveled. Nick Rallis gets the rare opportunity to bounce back and be that kind of continuity from last year's team. But he's got some key, I think, staff additions, and hopefully health is going to play a big role in this one, Clancy.
So that's the thing for me. Like, how much you guys talk about the injuries from last year? Because I know that you and I think talking about injuries and talking about refs and bad calls is just kind of a loser mentality. I've thought that forever until last year with the Cardinals, where it's like everybody was hurt for a large portion of the season. And the problem with the defense was it was a different guy every week. So it wasn't just like, Garrett Williams. Garrett Williams got put on IR, so he's out for this specific amount of time. Will Johnson's out this week. Max Melton's out this week. Walter Nolen's out this week. So they didn't have any sort of, and then Mac Wilson at the end, it's just like they didn't have any sort of cohesion even when some of the guys were healthy. So do you guys talk about injuries as like a main character in last year a lot? Because I can't separate from it.
No, we stay away from it just because it became a kind of a crutch throughout the end of last season, to where you're just like, but the losses piled up before this. Now, I know that it snowballed and the losses became, more lopsided, but we didn't want to lean into that narrative, but it certainly played a role. I think that you don't get your key cog, your main cog, as far as the interior defensive line in rookie Walter Nolen from the jump. Nobody outside of Josh Sweat could generate quick pressure. And, Mac Wilson, once he went down, the defense just completely unraveled. And all, really the main people that suffered from that were the guys on the back end and your young secondary. So it was a complete unmitigated disaster defensively and how everything ended up. But no, I think that injuries absolutely played a role. And I know that it's an inexact science and it's 100% injury rate in this league, but there is going to be some guys that you can't stand to lose just based on how you built this defense.
Yeah, I agree. And the run game, too, those guys being hurt, it does impact the defense. You can't have more sustained drives. And, Bo, the biggest thing for me, and I'll go right back to the defense in a second, is I think Warren Sharp put it out, over the last 3 years, the Cardinals were 52% converting on 4th and 1. That's insane.
Yeah.
That they gave up 48% of that to not sustain more drives. But, yeah, I mean, this is Nick Rallis' swan song. He's got a creative, weird mind. We'll see if Jonathan Gannon had any sort of thumb on him last year. I think the Caleb Proctor pick probably showed that this is going to be a quicker defense, and that's what he wants it to be. But, yeah, they've just got to produce. They've got to, mask the pass rush, the deficiency there. And Walter Nolen needs to be special. He needs to be special for this defense to rebound and then, be a top 15 defense.
Let's flesh that out a little bit more with Walter Nolen and his impact on this defense, plus the first-round pick after him, Jeremiyah Love. Some projections for Love. Would we take these stat lines for the 3rd overall pick? We'll get into that next here on PHNX Cardinals. Hit that like button. Subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. Got to shout out our friends over at 1AZ Credit Union, who are incentivizing an already unbelievable place to do your banking. But if you open up a checking account now with our friends over at 1AZ Credit Union, you can get $350 new member bonus if you complete qualifying activities. Just use the promo code CHK358. That's promo code CHK358. And you, of course, complete those qualifying activities. You get $350 with your brand new checking account with 1AZ Credit Union, which is entrenched in our community. 75 years they've been here, a staple in our great state. 25 branches across AZ. Great online banking app, which is essential because you need access to your money at all times. You can get that anywhere you are. When you stop by a branch, it's more than just banking. The team can help with anything from financial coaching to notary services. Take advantage of that new member bonus, $350. Promo code CHK358. Terms and conditions apply. Visit 1azcu.com for all the details. Speaking of the details, it's pretty simple. You got the World Cup on, get yourself a nice ice cold Michelob Ultra We're talking about soccer, baby. Yeah, the U.S. has punched its ticket to the round of 16 along with Mexico, and Michelob Ultra is along for the entire ride. It's the official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026 and proud sponsor of the U.S. men's national soccer team. Michelob Ultra is right there with every moment. It's brewed right here in America. It's unbelievable. It's like a bald eagle soaring through the air. It's so patriotic. It's like a truck with four-wheel drive just getting mud on its tires. It's American, and it's here for the World Cup to help you every step of the way. For every goal, every match, every unforgettable moment, the world's biggest stage, crack open something superior. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the U.S. men's national soccer team and official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2026 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Speaking of old... You guys are crushing it with the super chats. We'll get to those in a bit. I see you, D Flash. Midwest Mike, welcome to the show. Always great to see you in the chat as well. We'll get to those, but I saw this come up. NFL.com. They broke down an article as far as who has potential to kind of break out in 2026, who's poised for a big year, and the list was headlined by a familiar name. Trendy name, Kyler Murray. We'll get into that part, but I found it interesting. They included Walter Nolen on this list. It said the only hurdle that stood in the way of Nolen making an instant impact as a rookie in 2025 was health. He played in just 6 games. A calf injury suffered before training camp landed Nolen on the physically unable to perform list, start the season. And then he ended his prematurely campaign due to a knee injury, which we found out was a meniscus tear. Nolen did not play. He was every bit of the first-round talent the Cardinals believed he would be and spent the 16th overall pick on. Armed with quickness, power, and instincts, Nolen just needs to be healthy consistently. The rest will take care of itself. It is crazy that he only played in 6 games because it felt like he was out there more often and because of his impact was so great. I mean, his debut against Dallas, that was the only really rock-solid performance you got in the final 9 games from this defensive unit.
Yeah, and it was immediate. It was like, oh, it's like when we used to talk about how, like, in the preseason, you're like, oh, that's an NFL player. That's not. Yeah. That's an NFL player. That's not. The speed against grown men in his first attempt. What did he have? A pressure, a sack, and a pass deflection in the first quarter of the game. It was something I can't remember. In the first chunk of the game, it's like, I know it's a small sample size. I know he had the pick 6 where he was fleet of foot against Jacksonville later in the season with I think it was Jalen Thompson that deflected that ball. That's an NFL player. That's a Pro Bowl caliber player. I know it's so early, but even with Will Johnson, you didn't really see it last year. You saw some. You didn't see any, oh no, this guy's not ready yet. What have they done? But you didn't see that. He was the most exciting spark that the Cardinals had on defense last year. So I'm not comparing him to Aaron Donald at all, but I'm saying, if they don't have an edge rusher, but you got a guy like that in the middle, same. You know, like Dexter Lawrence is so much more important than Kayvon Thibodeau or was for the Giants. Mm-hmm. Christian Wilkins before whatever happened with him with the Dolphins, they didn't have a great pass rush, but he was the pass rush. So that will help everything if he can stay healthy and emerge as that guy. Yeah,
there was an undeniable impact when he was healthy and in the game. Like you can't find that with Darius Robinson, unfortunately, going into his, 3rd season?
10th? Yeah.
I mean, I just can't find even like in a game film of 50 plays, like where he's impacting the opposing offense. I just can't. Walter Nolen, it's instant. You see like how he disrupts the game. And if they can get that on a consistent basis, I hear you, man. I think he's just one of those defensive linemen that can be a game wrecker. Like, is he going to be Hall of Fame level? Probably. Odds are no, but can he be a consistent Pro Bowl caliber guy? There's no doubt in my mind. Like, from the little I saw from him, the sample size I saw from him, from the Dallas game to that absurd one-handed grab where he's got an offensive lineman draped all over him. He one-hands it and then is able to get it to the end zone, and that was part of one of his injuries last year that he suffered getting taken in the ground. I mean, he's going to be one of those guys that if he can get right, it can change the complexion in this defense and how Nick Rallis can put in the calls and how that they can execute it from every level. Because if he's there up front and you got Sweaty J and you got Mac Wilson running around with his hair on fire, and then you set up those young players in the secondary, and they don't have to play like this brutal like off coverage. They can get closer to their man and maybe take away some footballs. That just does wonders for a team that their expectation is that they're going to be better offensively. So I thought that was interesting. I also thought this was interesting. I was just kind of scrolling Instagram before the show, and this came up. Jeremiyah Love. There were some stat projections for Jeremiyah Love. I was wondering if you and everybody else who would sign up for this season from the Cardinals' 3rd overall pick. This is via Bleacher Report Gridiron, who had some really bad trade proposals for the Cardinals about last week. But I think I would sign up for this from Jeremiyah Love. 1,200 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns, 280 receiving yards on nearly 40 catches, and 4 more catches through the air. So what is that? 13 total tutties and over what, close to 1,700 yards in total offense from Jeremiyah Love.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with the extra game. I mean, that's terrible math. It's 1,500, but
wow, thank you.
With the extra game, that's 70 yards rushing. Okay, I think he's gonna have significantly more receptions. Like Bo. They don't have a fast guy on this team outside of him. Like, seriously.
Bourne's okay.
They have who?
Kendrick Bourne's got a little giddy up.
Okay, but like the breakaway speed thing, they don't have like that speedster who can like actually run away from defenses who are chasing him, like Kyler Murray was able to. They don't have that. So I think they're gonna line him up in the slot a lot. I think they're gonna move him around. Like, this isn't a Kyron Williams thing. He can do both, even though he didn't do a whole hell of a lot of it in college. He's able to do it. We saw little glimpses in camp. I know you were closer up than I was, but I think that people are gonna be disappointed with the total numbers at the end of the year because he's a piece of the pie. He's not the pie. Like, Tyler Algier, if you draft Jeremiyah Love in fantasy, buckle up, Buttercup. Tyler Algier is gonna steal 7 touchdowns from him next year. Because he's better around the goal line.
I don't disagree with that completely. I do think that if there's going to be anything that you're going to have to concede from Jeremiyah Love, it is going to be like 13 total touchdowns. It's a lot. It's pretty crazy, right?
And James Conner too. James Conner's no
I don't know if we'll see James. I don't know if we'll see James.
So if he's on the roster and you've got 3rd and goal from the 1, which running back that the Cardinals have right now are you giving the ball to? Not Jeremiyah Love.
Probably not, but I think he's going to be the guy that's going to get you most of the way to the goal line.
I'd agree with that. But this also isn't going to be a Saquon situation with the Eagles where it's like, oh, it's inside the 10, don't give the ball to Saquon. Right. Like, that's what's happened over the last couple of years. It won't be that. But Tyler Algier is an absolute machine. We thought he was going to be RB1, and I was happy about it.
Well, and he was so efficient in the red zone and in close, and so is James. So good. And like, you've got those proven commodities there, and until they prove you different, why not? But yeah, I think you might be onto something. I don't know if they're going to complete, like when I think about the work share and I think of it primarily as a 2-headed monster, and then we'll see who makes the case. And there's a lot of guys that could potentially do that in JC and in Trey Benson, depending on who's on the roster and gets the opportunity. I think Jeremiyah Love, based on the investment, based on the youth, and based on the explosiveness, is going to still be like a 65 to 70% work share for the Cardinals.
I think, yeah. See, the only pushback I would have is he's never done it. Him and Jadarian Price were 60-40. It was Jadarian Price would be an RB1 at like 50 other colleges if it wasn't for Jeremiyah Love. So the fascinating part is he's 20 years old. I think he's still 20. They've got time. But yeah, 70-30, I think that's about right. But like Bijan, it's what the 30 is, though. So Bijan Robinson, for the most part, was between the 20s guy. You get inside the 20, Tyler Algier can rip through linebackers. Bijan Robinson cannot. So it's a very simple, what is your body construction? And that's kind of what it is. It's what's the 30 going to be? Yeah. If it's inside the 5, people are going to be pissed. He only has 7. Well, how does Tyler Algier have more rushing touchdowns than Jeremiyah Love? Well, they're scoring 28 points a game. Who cares?
But it's not going to be like Arthur Smith criminal usage of Bijan. No, it's going to be more kind of, I think you could kind of forecast it a little bit easier than like, oh my God, is he going to be out there or is he not? Are we going to see like a third tight end that's going to be in the backfield or something stupid like that? I
agree with that.
I think it's going to be pretty defined what their roles are going to be. and fantasy managers be damned. Like that's going to be how it's going to be set up, and I don't mind that because that would take away kind of the wear and tear on this huge investment that you made on a guy that is going to be touching the football, and with that, like, you want to avoid any kind of deterioration there. So, look, I would sign up for those. I would sign up for 13 total touchdowns right now. Tell me where to sign. But at the same time, like, I agree. I don't know if that's where you're going to see him pop, and he's going to be able to do it more so between the 20s instead of inside the 20. Clancy continues to join us here from Locked On Cardinals. Make sure you're subscribed to that channel. Subscribe to PHNX Sports. We continue this conversation here, and we'll get into that Kyler Murray aspect of why they think he's going to pop in Minnesota while he didn't necessarily here. That's next. Speaking of old reliable, how about Kim Caballero? If you're in the market to buy or sell your home, look no further than Kim Caballero. There's a ton of great agents out there. You have your pick of the litter as far as real estate agents, but here's how Kim separates herself. She has been here in Arizona in the business world for more than 25 years, and she's helping Arizona families navigate the biggest decisions of their life, and she doesn't take that lightly. When you work with Kim, you are the priority every step of the way, and really how Kim also is separated from the pack is her network. It's unmatched. Connections over the valley with investors, builders, developers, so she can help spot opportunities other buyers and sellers might completely miss whether you're trying to land your dream home or maximize your sale. Kim's got proven strategies to help you secure the best deal. So give Kim a call today. She truly understands the value and what matters most when choosing a home. Call Kim Caballero today, 480-489-5012. That's 480-489-5012. Tell her Bo and Johnny from PHNX Cardinals sent you. Oh, man, hit that like button. Subscribe to PHNX Sports, and, of course, check out Gila River Resorts and Casinos. If you're looking for a little bit of a staycation vibe this weekend, can't get out of town, why not? Just stay in the backyard and go to one of the 4 beautiful casinos and resorts that they have in town. That's right, Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Whether you're catching, all the sports action, or you're wanting to go hit maybe the table games, or just get some good food and drinks, make it a full day with friends, they've got you covered for whatever you need. It's their BetMGM sports books. They're built for sports fans. Massive screens, wall-to-wall TVs, an incredible atmosphere that puts you right in the middle of the action. That's where you want to be. Gila River Resorts and Casinos is going to do it for you. Of course, we do our watch parties for every away game. Wild Horse Pass, love that. Love Santan Mountain out there in the Southeast Valley. It's unbelievable. 4 locations. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. All the ways you do you. Visit playathila.com for more details. Love to see this. Love to see this from SAG. 5 weeks, the first preseason game. Saying more yikes. I'm saying bring it on. Let's go. We're in the dog days. We're talking about Seth Walder comments way too much here on the show. We need some actual information coming from this team. It'll be here before you know it. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button. Our like goal today, 200. Now let's do 250 here to celebrate 250 years of United States, 250 likes for this show. We appreciate that. How about that? How about that type of patriotism there, Clancy?
It's fantastic. It's better than the sermon you gave earlier.
Yeah, so, that's right. I'm the young, hip pastor. That's right. You have you been dialed into this World Cup?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been the U.S. was great. The red card was egregious yesterday. I don't understand why slow motion is more important. Like, this isn't football.
Right.
It's like, I just don't get it. I'm not a huge soccer aficionado, but I know the game, so it's fun to watch.
Yeah, what constitutes a catch should be a little bit harder than if there was, some sort of ill intent to hit a player on the field. Yeah, I'm the biggest casual. I mean, I've been a soccer fan for 2.5 weeks, and I could even see that was an egregious call. But it's been fun, and the march continues on. We're going to have a watch party here at PHNX. Mexico on Sunday, and then, of course, America on Monday. Don't miss Mexico, England, and the U.S. versus Belgium. North America showing up strong here as we're the host countries here for the World Cup. Love that. July 5th, join us, Mexico, England. That's at Gila River Resorts and Casinos at Wild Horse Pass at 5. And then you can join us at Backyard Desert Ridge. Again, it was electric atmosphere last night. Join us again, 5 p.m. versus Belgium. swearing off waffles. It's going to be a tough couple days here, but we'll get it done. Maybe pancakes between now and then.
Yeah, that's fine. Pancakes are good.
Let's keep it going here as far as there was this Kyler Murray mention. I'm not going to spend too much time, and I think people had Kyler fatigue at this point. They were just interested in to see how it's going to work post Cardinals. Obviously we wish we had better options at the quarterback position in-house, but the NFL.com, I think it was Nick Shook who put this together. He's pretty bullish on this. He thinks certainly better situation for the number one pick than he inhibited in the desert. Goes through all the playmakers, which I'll push back. I think the playmakers, it's just about even as you're looking at Jefferson, Addison, Jennings, and TJ Hawkinson, and expect Murray to become a quarterback and rebuild his reputation along the way. I think Cardinals fans are rooting for that to an extent. I don't think they want to see it to the point where Kyler Murray is like in the MVP conversation and it's like true salt in the wound. But I think everybody wants to see some sort of success for Kyler post-Cardinals career.
It's not like he was here for a year, man.
Right.
Like we saw it. We saw the ups. We saw how low the valleys are. I think the malaise on this is going to whip off really quickly. Even if they do, say they start 8-0 and he's this MVP candidate, it's like, it's not if, it's when. It's always been when things don't continue. And you say that for most quarterbacks. That's not him specific, but he's not 6'5", is he? Did something happen where he has Josh Allen's body now? He's the same exact guy, and that's I think the pushback that you and I got forever because we were Kyler guys. Like the pushback was like, yeah, but it's good until. And most quarterbacks have that, but not guys with the high profile that he had while he was here. So whatever. It'll be fun. Dude, are you kidding me? Watching him and Justin Jefferson on the field together is going to be awesome.
Right.
And then it's going to be 3rd and 9 when they need a field goal, and he's going to throw it into the dirt, and they're going to miss a field goal, and it's going to be the same thing.
Right.
It's not enough. This is just empirical evidence from 7 seasons here. So it's going to be fun as hell to watch them, dude. Of course.
Right. And based on, history, the likelihood of a hot start probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And you got to fade that as a Cardinals fan and not let it hurt your soul too much. But what always kind of happens, right? Things deteriorate, durability becomes an issue, and adjustments are made. And can he change that as in his Vikings tenure? Can he prove himself to be more durable? Can he prove himself to be more adaptable? Him and KOC working in concert to stay ahead of opposing defenses to where when they want to take away where you found success before, go, find and adapt to that and adjust. And then also, can he return to the deep ball? Because we just didn't see it really post 2021. The deep ball, it's something that needs to be studied. It just wasn't there, and there was an inability to get the ball downfield to his playmakers. Is that going to be a problem with Justin Jefferson? It was certainly a problem with Marv, and I'm not comparing the two as much as I would like to. And then even Michael Wilson. Nobody talks about it, but Michael Wilson, when Kyler was in the lineup, was 8 catches, 52 yards through 5 games.
Yeah.
After that, he came alive. So, can he distribute? Can he take advantage of those playmakers? Can he take advantage of working with this quarterback whisperer, this offensive savant, and Kevin O'Connell?
This is, dude, if it doesn't, I don't know how he's going to get a job somewhere else.
Yeah, then it becomes kind of like this journeyman. I think there will still be teams that will take a shot, but it lessens by every offseason.
Do you think he loves football enough to be a backup quarterback? I think he'd just retire. This isn't something where, you know what, say whatever. Carolina wants to move up for Bryce Young, and then Kyler comes in for a 2-year deal or something. That's what it's going to be. But if he produces, he's going to produce. I'm curious about the cold weather games. I just looked at the schedule really quickly. They play Green Bay early, so there's not going to have to worry about that going to Lambeau in December. But all of the world, you think there's spotlight in the NFC West? No. The spotlight is where all the fans are, which is in the East Coast. The NFC North fans are like nothing the NFC West can even, define. So, dude, it's going to be pressure right away. If he gets benched for J.J. McCarthy, that's a wrap, homie. I'm not saying he will. I'm saying he's got plenty of talent. They've got all the guys to throw the ball to. And Justin Jefferson is the second best receiver in football, or third. So he's made it work with who? He made it work with JJ McCarthy last year and Carson Wentz. He still produced, so they'll be all right.
Yeah. Should be fine. I think he should be able to avoid disaster in 9 nipping at his heels. And,
I agree with that.
But is it enough to parlay that into a big contract? Is it enough to go, stay there and be the starter for many years? Or is it become like he goes and he gets, probably a lower contract than he signed here, but he gets to continue on as a starter? As far as your question is, would he accept a bit of a demotion? Like, he's going there and he's the presumptive starter. Like, what's it look like if he's not and he's got to go in and win a job? I mean, I think like the more you chip away at that, like he's as competitive as a guy I've ever covered. But like, do you maintain that when you aren't sitting in the catbird seat as QB1?
I don't know, but I do. Yeah, I don't know, but I do know that like the with Nick Saban, what was it? The Reclamation Project was always the OC for Nick Saban. Yeah. A guy in the NFL, they couldn't cut it. Go be OC for Nick Saban for a year, and then you'll get another job. It happened forever. I mean, it was Sarkisian. It was Bill O'Brien. It was a bunch of guys. It was, I think, Lane Kiffin for a year. So maybe the Kevin O'Connell Reclamation Project is in full effect. Worked for Sam Darnold. So if it works for Kyler, dude, Kyler's so much fun to watch. I don't care. If they win 14 games next year, kudos. This had to happen for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
We already knew. We already know what this is, and it wasn't working here.
Right.
So,
right.
No sweat either way.
And there were so many different variables that went into that, from play calling to how they built the roster and created infrastructure or lack thereof. Yeah, we could talk about it and do episodes on that. We're not going to do that today. We're going to get into one more extension candidate that we overlooked. We'll debate, should it be higher on our list, plus your super chats. It's all next, PHNX Cardinals. Whether you're building a brand or you're trying to hook up your co-ed softball team with some style, maybe up your game a little bit, Branded Bills is the place for you. Premium headwear and apparel. Use the code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. If you're looking for some seriously good-looking gear, you've got to check out Branded Bills. They're a local Arizona company based in Mesa, and they make some of the best custom hats and apparel that you're going to find anywhere. They're worldwide. I mean, you go around the country, you go to Little League tournaments, or you just see team events, and you'll see people repping Branded Bills. They got the BB on the side of their hat, and it means something. Snapbacks, truckers, fitted hats, beanies, premium tees. Their team will work with you to create exactly what you're looking for with the perfect combination, performance and style. Gotta love that. Head to brandedbills.com. Use the promo code BBPHNX15. That's like Booker, 15, right? Devin Booker's new digit, BBPHNX15 for 15% off your first order. That's BBPHNX15 at brandedbills.com. Got to tell you about, of course, our survey. You can help us do better here at PHNX. We're regular here on the show, or you really just kind of any PHNX show for that matter. We've got a quick favor to ask. We want to hear from you. What can we do better as a company to serve you, the Valley sports fan, better? Fill out a quick survey, and guess what? You are entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card that you can do whatever you'd like with it. It takes 3 minutes, and you can win $100. And, of course, you're telling us how we can do better here. If you're watching this show, you've already proven that you have outstanding taste. How can we make it better? We appreciate your feedback. Don't you wish your local sports teams would take that type of advice like we will? Scan the QR code on your screen. Go to gophnx.com/survey. Only takes a few minutes and helps shape everything we do here at PHNX and gives you a shot at $100 Amazon gift card. Hit that like button. Clancy continues on here. We're going to wrap up with your super chats, but let's get to this conversation. This is something you wanted to broach with me. It's been a hot topic here on the show with Paris Johnson Jr. making headlines in a way for wanting to be a $40 million a year player. That's not the demand, as I understand it, but it's something that he has as far as a goal. So I still expect the team to find middle ground and reward him handsomely with a contract extension. Then Michael Wilson is a guy that's going to command over $20 million a season based on recent contract extensions for wide receivers that kind of fit his profile. But you brought this up. You think the Arizona Cardinals need to prioritize another guy as far as extension candidates in the 2026 season?
Well, it's fascinating. So you guys, really quick with Michael Wilson. Yeah. Do you think that's – so I want to compare him to the guy that you're setting me up for is Garrett Williams. So with Michael Wilson, he was non-existent for 2.5 years, okay? So this – you can talk about it like, well, yeah, he had 1,000 yards receiving. He had a bunch of touchdowns. They lost all the games, and a lot of it was in garbage time. Mm-hmm. Do you trust that he's worth $20 million a year just for that? Because you hope that they're going to extend him this offseason so it doesn't have to – they can get ahead of it. Does he deserve $20 million for 10 games?
Well, I think given the market and given what you know about Michael Wilson, I think that you can make that educated guess that he can perform outside of garbage time. And I think that he proved in sample sizes that he could when given the opportunity. But it's something you're going to have to learn. Like, I don't think you're signing Michael Wilson as much as this kind of debate has happened where, like, is he wide receiver one? Is Marv wide receiver one? Hopefully you have the play caller in place that can utilize both of them. And what the deals you're seeing, like Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Alec Pierce, like that, these guys who are, fringe wide receiver ones, wide receiver twos, like they're making well over $20 million a year. So that's just the market. And I think that Michael Wilson is a safe investment given like where your cap stands next season. It's kind of a drop in the bucket as far as that goes. And that is, as long as you're utilizing him correctly, he's going to be worth it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, so what, you give him the Christian Kirk deal that he got in Jacksonville years ago? Yeah. So 3 for 60 inflated. Or whatever it is? Yeah, that's fine. I mean, because the thing with Nathaniel Hackett and me, and I'll get to Garrett Williams in a second, is like he made Devontae Adams in 2021. Like that was a stat where it's like Devontae Adams had more red zone receptions than DeAndre Hopkins had targets in 2021. He was able to scheme him open that much. So if that's what you think it's going to be with Michael Wilson, cool, pay him.
Yeah.
Garrett Williams is a premium position. He's a better player when he's on the field for that premium position, but he's missed 20 games in 3 years. So my question to you is, I did this on my show. I just think it's a fun exercise because we've talked about the same topics for the last month, is if you had to extend one, Garrett Williams or Michael Wilson, who are you extending? Because Garrett Williams was the best zone corner according to Pro Football Focus in 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And having a slot corner, the reason why they passed on Cooper DeJean was Garrett Williams. Mm-hmm. So it would be a bad look if they just played it out this year and they let him go. So I don't know which is more important. Garrett Williams has played more meaningful snaps for this team than Michael Wilson has. So I understand Michael Wilson with the recency bias. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if that's if you're going to pick one.
Well, there's a harsh reality here, and it's just, unfortunately, the injuries that Garrett Williams has sustained. Like, he came into the league with a knee injury, and then he's rehabbing, and luckily he's ahead of schedule, and he should be a part of what the team's going to do with an Achilles injury. And it's become an injury that players across sports have been able to rehab a lot better and more efficiently than before. But, like, as it stands right now, I got to go Michael Wilson. I understand your point, like, and that is just based off of Garrett Williams was a part of a team and more of a productive player. And if you asked me this question in 2024, I would have said definitively Garrett Williams, to where now it's just like the evidence in this case has changed significantly to where I think it's Michael Wilson and then Garrett Williams. I think, fortunately for Monty Ossenfort, both the players who I think are rock stars off the field and in their preparation and what they do as far as their process and as teammates and what they do in that locker room, and that you're going to be able to probably bring back both. And I would probably just prioritize Michael Wilson just based on all the facts involved.
Yeah, and at this point, we're looking at Garrett Williams getting less than Michael Wilson.
Yeah.
Right? Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like 2 years in, you think he's going to reset the market.
I know.
Michael Wilson, Garrett Williams. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I get them. Like, I don't think there's a wrong answer. It's just fascinating because Michael Wilson, he hadn't done jack, and then he did. I understand the opportunity, but we'll see. I do hope they both retain them both. That's the whole point. People like Monty Ossenfort doesn't know what he's doing. You draft, you develop, and you re-sign. That's what this is supposed to be.
Right. And look, as a guy who is on the thinnest ice possible at 15-36 as he's retained here into a fourth season. Like, signing guys from your first draft class are only going to help your case.
Right.
He just needs to find more success in the win department, clearly, and then obviously something to happen as far as the quarterback position, whether Beck shows something here in the preseason or that they gambled correctly on Brissett kind of coming back as the incumbent. But yeah, I love it, man. Like, as far as those guys, like especially those third round picks, that's a badge of honor that he doesn't have a whole lot of as far as Monty Ossenfort. And two players that, when healthy, Cardinals fans are proud to root for. Let's wrap things up with some super chats. Thank you to everybody. You guys have been crushing it. Thank you to Clancy for hanging out with us here on the most Thursday feeling Friday, or Friday feeling Thursday.
Totally.
Hopefully everybody gets to get some well-deserved time off here in the next couple days. Desert Vulture, don't call this a comeback season because fans have been waiting this for years. Yeah, no doubt about it. You guys deserve it the most. I mean, it's one winning season since 2015. That's tough. I did see, like, Michael Bidwell got some good press today. He gave up a suite to
like a presidential suite or something.
Nice.
To a honeymooners. Yeah.
Good for
Cool.
bids. Good for bids.
Probably didn't pay for it anyways.
What's that?
He probably didn't pay for it anyways.
Come
so I could
on.
use some good press.
Just give him some credit. Loso, where's the Prius guy? Everybody wants to know where Johnny is. I did see this and I thought of Johnny. So it's a running bit. People say that Johnny drives a Prius. I can't confirm or deny it. I want to continue that bit. I did see he's such a Star Wars guy. I saw like some guy had Toy Yoda. And that would
really
be totally Johnny. That would be Johnny.
That's really good. That's really good. Really smart.
Noah's disgusted by that. I would expect that you would appreciate that.
I appreciate
it. I think it's incredible.
That's low-hanging fruit.
No, I mean Star Wars.
Bo would never think of that.
They want no. It's such low-hanging fruit though that Johnny would lean into it. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah, sure.
That's great.
Wow. Okay. What a stick in the mud. What a stick in the mud. Loso back saying, "Sell the team, Mike. Come on. He's a TikTok star now. He's making. I don't know who's getting married, but it's somebody high profile, and he made the right choice to the right person, and he's getting some good press. Damon Cat has been back in the fold for the last couple of weeks. It's always great to see Damon Cat. Of course, the rival of Damon Dog, our former producer and of course star of AZ Wildcat show. Get Clancy to meow. Also, y'all should go do the ice bucket challenge for CJ2K. Can we get a meow?
I would do the ice bucket challenge with you.
You won't meow like a cat on our show?
You're not getting a super trooper moment from me, no.
Oh my God. Come on, meow. How dare you? I'm never inviting you back.
I don't understand. I don't understand the meow. Oh, Damon Cat. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, there's not much. There's not much to it. It's
not the
that
Toyota
deep.
level. It's a little bit. Yeah.
On the back end of that, I completely agree. I think we will, as a show, we're gonna party like it's 2016 or whatever that year was, where everybody was doing the ice bucket challenge, and no doubt about it. I think it was Chris Johnson who this week came the news on Good Morning America that he's battling ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and his daughter wanted to bring back the ice bucket challenge. It's the least we could do. We will absolutely oblige, especially in the summer heat here in Arizona, for former Cardinals running back.
Yeah.
You gonna do it on your show solo? I'd love to see it. You just you and the camera, and you just pour some ice bucket of water on your head.
It's a little bit logistically. It's a little bit more difficult for me. Logistically, it's a little bit more difficult, but I'll come up with some form or fashion of it.
No, are you gonna do it?
I thought I was involved with. We'll just do it all as a one show.
Yeah.
We'll just go to a part.
Okay. Good.
Are we in the tree with the nest? Are we not? That delivery is so good.
Come on.
We'll go to the park where the kids do the LARPing, and so Johnny can see what he's up against with this horrible lightsaber technique.
Reese bringing us home here, saying, "Can anyone remember the bad drop from Wilson? I can't pay him. He's got it without being a diva. Let me read that.
I can't, period, pay him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He doesn't drop passes.
And that's what he was saying there, right? I would say, I mean, remember the over-the-shoulder catch he had in Seattle with the rain diving down on him?
Yep.
I mean, he's been as consistent as you want when given the opportunities. So that's just the thing. Like, are you going to be able to, with one football, feed all those mouths as far as Trey and get Marv where he needs to be? It's that's going to be the biggest thing, and that doesn't fall on the shoulders of Mike. What do we got here? Native Trader is celebrating 5 months as a supporter for PHNX Sports. Thank you so much, Native Trader. JJ gonna leave a copy of Modern Warfare 4 in K1's locker when it drops October. K1 gonna be locked in with the game involving Korea. So Trey McBride addressed this on his appearance with Bus from the Boys. He said that was just one of those narratives that he didn't understand. Didn't see that as an issue. It was one of those things that took on a life of itself. And then what was that? Jacob was wondering about his super chat. Was it from yesterday? How is Johnny doing this with Sorsby rehab? He's doing fine. I think, Sorsby is just the guy we don't talk about any longer until he makes a case for himself to even be a legitimate draft prospect with taking a full season off. Then we'll probably put him on the table him for a while. Clancy, you were anti Sorsby?
Yeah, I just think it's like the gambling thing aside. Like, obviously that's super important. Deal with his stuff. Obviously that's first and foremost the human element of it. But it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
like it's just not just because there's a shiny new thing. It's like a rose in the desert in the middle of something. It's like, who cares? It's like it's something fun to talk about, but no, chill.
I was in on Sorsby, man. If he was going to be in the supplemental draft, I thought the Cardinals needed to take a flyer.
How would you have gone?
I was set for a second.
Jeez,
yeah,
that's a lot. And the whole thing about Carson Beck, they didn't know that he was going to be in the supplemental draft. So it's like, well, why would you take Carson Beck if you're going to do this? It's like they didn't know,
right?
So if he were to have been, and they would have taken him, it's like, what, do you bring in Russell Wilson? You have a starting backcourt back there. You have a starting five. Like, that's 4 quarterbacks. Like, what do you do? You cut Jacoby Brissett? If it comes down to it. If you would have drafted Sorsby, I don't know. Yeah.
But like I said, we'll table the Sorsby until maybe we have to talk about him again. I don't know. It's a longer road, tougher road back to him really becoming a draft prospect. I'd be curious to see if they even invite him to the combine. Going a whole season without playing a single down of any competitive football. That's going to just crush his ability to get any type of run before next February and March to be a sought out prospect again. And this really did and I don't disagree with it. I think the NFL and the NCAA dropping the hammer on him it's the right move. But if for whatever reason he became available, I thought the Cardinals, at the very least, should have checked it out. And if he becomes an undrafted free agent, or if he's there and the Cardinals they like Beck, and in the 27 draft are sitting there on late day 3, maybe look into it. But
yeah,
no,
there's so much up in the air, man. We have no idea. It would be fun. He had 20 rushing touchdowns or close to that. He had a bunch of yards, a bunch of touchdown passes. He's 6'3". It'd be fun, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you got to give Clancy, of course, a follow at Clancy Corner on Twitter, and of course, check out Locked On Cardinals, talking about this team every day, as he does over on his channel where you find podcasts, and of course here on YouTube. Alex, have a great holiday weekend, man. Thanks so much for joining me here on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Anytime.
For Noah, I'm Bo. Make sure you follow along at PHNX_Cardinals. Have a great holiday weekend. We got stuff hitting the channel all week. Make sure you got notifications set up. Thanks to everybody who helped fill the void of Johnny Venerable from, of course, the C and Red podcast, Rob Fredrickson and Cade, as well as Donnie Druin yesterday, Donnie Donuts, and Alex. You guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday, 4:30, PHNX Cardinals.
We all silly like the mayor.